Ramzi Youssef, the engineer of the World Trade Center bombing, to a guest house in Islamabad, Pakistan. The FBI and their partners at Pakistani intelligence get ready to surprise him with a visit.
Embassy personnel tell me they really do believe they've located Ramzi Youssef. So with State Department agents and DEA agents, we go to a guest house in Islamabad called the Sukasa Guest House.
Security teams storm the guest house and quickly capture their target.
They go in this room and take a gentleman into custody, and it's a custom for whatever reason in Pakistan where you basically put blindfolds over the person you're arrested, I guess, so they can't see you or anyone else.
KSM is still at large, but catching Ramzi Youssef marks a pivotal break in the manhunt. Getting him to talk first falls to the FBI's Brad Garrett. Garrett uses a simple technique to win a suspect's trust.
When he blinks, a contact tumbles out of his eye and lands on his shirt. Now, they have his hands shackled down, so he can't move his hands. So I look at him and I look at the contact, and I said, "Do you want me to take care of that?" And he paused for a minute and he said, "Yes." So I take his contact, put it in the cup of water, and place it where he can see it. And so that's how we started our initial contact with each other.
Ramzi proves to be a calm captive, well-spoken, cooperative, and ready to talk.
I said, "Were you involved in blowing up the World Trade Center in February of 1993? He smiled and he said, "Well, I masterminded blowing up the World Trade Center." I said, "Okay, how about telling me about that?"
Youssef describes how he was sent to the United States to scout out buildings to attack, and settled on the World Trade Center as the best symbolic target. He says their goal had been to kill 250,000 people, but he was rushed by his bosses and wasn't able to build the bomb he wanted.
He said, "You have to understand that this is not personal. I'm enjoying talking to you." He says, "I don't have anything against you. What I'm opposed to and my group is opposed to are U.S. policies with Israel." And he said, "The Israelis are killing Palestinians and other people of the Muslim faith, and it's not right. And we believe if we inflict enough damage on you, you'll change your policies." So that was his mindset. Not crazy, articulate, knew what he wanted to do, had a plan, and like a good soldier, he carried it out.
Youssef provides valuable insight, but one thing he won't discuss is his uncle, KSM. After Ramzi Youssef's capture, intelligence pours in that KSM has fled to Afghanistan to meet with Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. In Afghanistan's outback, KSM sees the full scale of Al-Qaeda's terror training, bomb building, target practice, agility. With bin Laden's help, he begins to hatch a new plan. The next phase of their attacks on the U.S.
The way I've seen from the most authoritative records is that KSM says, "I got an idea." I mean, it's like almost like college kids on the weekend, like pulling a prank for Saturday night. That you don't, everything's going to happen. And bin Laden says, "Yeah, go do it."
Bin Laden extends an offer to KSM to join Al-Qaeda and to swear allegiance to the group. But KSM refuses. For Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, no one else shares his extreme dedication to holy war against the United States. But bin Laden is about to prove him wrong. August 7th, 1998. Explosions create shockwaves over the capitals of Kenya and Tanzania as suicide bombers destroy 2 U.S. embassies. The gruesome attacks mark a new salvo in the holy war led by Osama bin Laden and firmly put his Al-Qaeda terror organization on the map.
The embassy bombings in Kenya and Tanzania convinced the FBI and the CIA that bin Laden had very, very deadly intentions and was capable of and interested in killing Americans wherever he could find them.
It was very clear that Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda were a threat to the United States greater than any other terrorist group we had ever seen. The numbers involved, the resources they commanded, and the geographical reach they had was something we had not seen before.
The Africa bombings also catch the attention of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and inspire him to officially join the ranks of bin Laden's Al-Qaeda. Still on the run from the CIA, Sheikh Mohammed returns to Afghanistan to work with bin Laden on their plot for a second World Trade Center attack. This time using not bombs, but commercial airliners. Within 2 years, their hand-picked soldiers are in flight schools in the United States. And on what they call the Holy Tuesday operation, they send 19 hijackers to make history.
If you looked at bin Laden as the architect of Al-Qaeda, sort of building the structure of it, KSM is almost the engineer who actually, builds the structures and gets things done. And KSM at every step basically, pushed bin Laden away and seized control of the plot and made sure that everything happened according to plan.
The attacks of 9/11 catch an entire nation off guard and prove that Al-Qaeda's reach extends to U.S. soil. It also changes KSM's status from terrorist threat to leader of a deadly international holy war.
Yeah, the central question is how does anybody become a mass murderer? How does anybody become a terrorist? How did Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who came from a fairly ordinary background, end up being the mastermind of the greatest terrorist attack in history?
It's incredibly frustrating. There have been people in the FBI and the CIA that said that if they caught KSM in the mid-90s when they had a chance, none of this might have happened. And it remains to be seen whether somebody else could have filled his shoes. But, there's a lot of people that think that they couldn't, that it was his force and personality that carried through the 9/11 plot.
6 days after the attack, President George Bush approves a new CIA war plan.
We will not tire, we will not falter, and we will not fail.
Worldwide attack matrix, and signs an executive order authorizing the CIA to pour millions of dollars into intelligence services. The plan loosens restrictions on covert ops, permitting assassination, break-ins, psychological warfare, and enhanced interrogation. Military role for the CIA. Within days, advanced teams are on the ground in Afghanistan, laying the groundwork for war. CIA advanced teams infiltrate Afghanistan to build alliances with the local resistance and gather intelligence on Taliban targets. In November of 2001, CIA Predator drones patrol the skies over Afghanistan.
People running to another vehicle and more people clear to engage all those. Roger that.
A series of airstrikes destroy multiple Taliban hideouts, killing over 3,000 people, including Al-Qaeda's military commander, Mohammed Atef. In the aftermath, investigators uncover stores of documents and videotapes containing plans for new terrorist attacks. CIA analysts also find what they're looking for: communication between Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and the man who was to be the 20th hijacker in the 9/11 plot, Ramzi bin al-Shibba.
The first time I heard of Ramzi bin al-Shibba was after 9/11. He apparently was a go-between between the Germany-based 9/11 attackers and Al-Qaeda in South Asia.
He became the communications channel through which all this information was relayed. But Sheba became his sort of second in command on the plot.
Al-Shibba's web of contacts is a virtual hit list of targets for the CIA. Each one putting them another step closer to catching the man behind 9/11, Khalid Sheikh.